Before we go any further, just want to thank all the people over on Patreon, because without their help, none of this upgraded content that you'd be seeing would be possible. Over on the Patreon, you get exclusive sneak peeks at upcoming videos. You also get access to the Patreon only Discord server. Coming up soon, I'm going to be working on talking about other anime that I can't talk about here on YouTube, like say ReZero, Konosuba, and etc. I'm also going to start posting the scripts for video essays, and every 3 months we do an anime and manga haul. We also are going to open up the Patreon only Discord server to YouTube members at the $2 price tier, which also means that members will be seeing their name here alongside the patron. But with that being said, let's get back into today's video. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another review for Sasuke Retsuden. Now that the chapter is done in the books, we got a lot to talk about, from the update on Kakashi's mission in Redaku spilling out into an all-out potential war, to Sasuke and Sakura teaming up yet again, to Sasuke's discovery about the Sage's Six Paths, and finally the major discovery teased at the end of the chapter itself, which might seem odd to those of you guys who have not read the novel, but I can assure you this was a huge discovery from Sasuke. As a quick reminder, you can read the newest chapter over on Viz Media's website and on Manga Plus. If you read it on Manga Plus, comment Boruto bi-weekly, because Shueisha does monitor feedback from that website, and Sasuke Retsuden is consistently in the top 3 of reads, so continue showing we can support Naruto content bi-weekly, which might lead to a push of having Boruto move to Manga Plus in the future. That being said, let's back things up and get into the recap portion of the review. So the chapter opens up with Sasuke standing in his cell reading the note that Sakura gave him, but as he begins to start making sense of it, Gigi begins bragging that he's figured out the pattern when Minno's gonna walk past their cage, and goes on to show that when it comes to his observations, he isn't that bad despite his goofy looking appearance, with Gigi noting that as long as no rules are broken, Minno won't attack, and that Minno isn't a bad creature. He's just like any other animal he's seen his girlfriend handling in the past, making note that Minno curls up at the almond tree because he's a fan of the scent. To prove that Minno isn't as dangerous as everyone thinks, Gigi offers a twig from the almond tree and tells his cellmates to start petting it. When Sasuke's offered the chance, Sasuke says he'd rather not lose his only good arm, but when Sasuke's other cellmate does pet Minno, Sasuke freaks out because the guy sets his toe beyond the bars, which then leads Minno to attack until the hot oil is spilled on a Minno, making him run off, which draws the attention of the guard, while Sasuke refills the lamp and sparks the fire using fire release. It's then that Sasuke makes the discovery about the cards that Sakura played with in the last chapter. The cards are actually representation of all the Bijus, something that Sasuke later confirms with Sakura, where the two of them figure out that cards 1 through 9 are the 9 Biju themselves. Card number 10 is the 10 tails emerging from the earth, just as Amado said in Boruto chapter 45 that the 10 tails is a seedling buried into the ground and emerges as a divine tree. The astronomer of Redaku is the 11th card, and the Sage's Six Paths is the 12th card, which is the shepherd, just as Hagoromo was the shepherd for the 9 Biju since he was the 10 tails Jinchuriki. After they make this revelation, Sakura reveals that the true reason she wanted to meet Sasuke is to both give a status update on Kakashi's mission in Redaku, where Kakashi is looking for a cure for Naruto, but also Kakashi's mission has gotten complicated. Kakashi has discovered that the Prime Minister is trying to start a war with another country, which for those you guys who are curious, this is exactly what I referenced in my video, how Kakashi fought 300 shinobi mercenaries, which is part of the Kakashi Retsuden novel playlist that is on the homepage that takes place alongside this story here. Now, the other reason that Sakura wanted to meet Sasuke is to discuss her plan for how they can break into Director Zanzuro's office. Sakura's plan is to make contact with the messenger from the Prime Minister who is visiting the office, gather relevant information through the conversation after Sakura makes the man sent for, and lead him to an isolated location, knock him out, transform into the man, and then make Sasuke transform into the man's staff. Also, Sasuke and Sakura can sneak into Zanzuro's office. To her credit, Sakura's plan works brilliantly. They're able to make it into Zanzuro's office, and we get the first couple of really great double page spreads where we see Zanzuro looking out the window as Sakura enters, and as Sakura begins to start playing the role of messenger, she sets the staff down, and in the next double spread, we see Sasuke quickly transform back into his regular body, and he hides his chakra and sneaks into the back of the office. Sasuke then begins running his chakra through the wall, and after figuring out the shape of the keyhole, Sasuke uses Earth Release to make himself a key. However, while all this is going on, after Zanzuro's cryptic words about progress being complete and that he can send the Prime Minister reinforcements, which is another huge plot point being set up, Zansuro notices that Sakura no longer has the staff that she did originally, right around the time that Sasuke unlocks the door, but while doing so, the door makes a loud sound as the key unlocks. In the time it takes Zansuro to turn around, Sasuke has already opened the door and slipped in, and Sakura has retrieved the real staff that was hidden under her cloak. Meanwhile, Sasuke begins walking through the hidden staircase and uses fire release to light his way through the corridor and makes another iron door that requires him to use earth release in order to make another key, which then reveals that the room is filled with roosters. And as Sasuke's in the room, Zansuro is standing outside the iron door with the curious look on his face, all while an unsuspecting Sasuke's inside the room with the roosters. Now let's start with the obvious thing here. So you might be wondering what in the world is going on here. First, we have a dinosaur that doesn't eat unless it kills someone, and now we have a room of roosters. Has Sasuke gone from being in a prison to being in the animal kingdom, or has he visited a petting zoo? Without going into spoilers for the future events of the story, Sasuke's discovery is pretty huge here, and there's relevancy coming up later on in the story, which is going to be a huge Easter egg for Naruto's manga, the size of the meteor that Madara dropped on the Alliance when you figure out the role of the chickens. A core theme of Naruto is that a ninja must learn to see past deception, and it's the same thing for readers reading the manga. There's always something hidden in plain sight that you're not paying attention to. At this current pacing, we should find out in the next chapter or the one after this, but there's a massive link to Naruto's manga that is not as subtle as the one with the dinosaurs, where if you didn't pay attention while reading Naruto's manga, or you didn't pay attention while watching the anime, you didn't realize that dinosaurs exist in the Naruto world, which is why you got a lot of people complaining, why do we have Jurassic Park in Naruto spin-off manga? Because you weren't paying attention. This one's right in your face, and it's a massive nod to a really big jutsu in Naruto's manga. Now, the other thing that should stand out is that the 10 Tails is coming out the ground. As I said earlier, it's just as Amato described in Boruto chapter 45, where the 10 Tails is a seedling that was stated that the Otsutsuki planted into the ground in order to make it emerge from the earth as a divine tree. As I said before, there's a reason why Shueisha keeps updating the light novel timeline, placing the light novels in the different events between the manga timeline, because you have numerous instances like this one where novels directly reference stuff in the manga, or the manga directly builds on stuff introduced in the light novels, like this scene here, or the scene where Sarada gets the 3-tomo Sharingan in another novel and having it be in the Boro fight of the manga itself. Naruto's manga is the main story. It's always been promoted as being the official story. These novels, as Shueisha promoted back in 2014, they're side stories that fill in the blanks of the Naruto universe. They're not meant to replace the main canon. They're only meant to supplement. Hence why between the manga and the anime, there have been over a dozen references in the manga and the anime since 2016. It's basically the Naruto franchise doing what Star Wars does. If you read all those Star Wars novels and the Star Wars comics, different things that you see in the live action shows and in the movies, different things begin to make a lot more sense. Now, what I also love about this chapter is that we got to see more of that classic Naruto vibe. This feels like a shinobi mission. Deception and strategy, all while you have the slower pace. The story is layering tension and mystery to keep you engaged in the story. Sasuke is someone powerful enough to destroy the entire planet, but as I said for 6 years now, when talking about Boruto, there's more to being a shinobi than just using jutsu that can destroy the entire world, or fighting people like Kage who can blow up her entire universe because it has a solar system inside of it. People tend to look too much at the story through the meathead lens. How many septillion gigatons of force can this jutsu do? How many pixels exist between this attack and the left testicle of this character? How many left strokes did Naruto have to do in order to make Boruto a Hinata? How flashy is the jutsu being used? Battles are a part of this, but this is also Naruto. Naruto is a battle shonen, but Naruto also has other elements from other genres in it. This is a ninja story. Action is coming, but we're getting the slow burn before the fight that's right around the corner. Similar to how in Kakashi Retsuden, there was a slow burn before Kakashi fought an army of 300 by himself. Once again though, Kimura Shingo definitely nailed the art in this chapter. This was a beauty to look at, a great entry for a rookie mangaka. What do you think about Sasuke and Sakura teaming up? While you think that over, click here to watch my KRYPTONIAN SAIYAN video on how strong are the Black Bulls, and click here for the Boruto chapter 76 spoiler.